guys, welcome back to our channel. Now, as you guys know, Peter and I travel a lot and we always get asked what kind of gear we are traveling with. And we're about to head off to America. So Peter is in the process of packing and he thought he would show you the gear that he's going to be traveling with.
So a lot of time when we're traveling, lots of people say to us, what do we carry with us? So we're off to America in a couple of days, and I thought I'd just, before I packed all up in bags, I thought I'd just show you exactly what we travel with. So this is going to be like, I think a 5-week trip, and 5 or an 8-9 week trip, this would be typically what we carry. So the very first stuff, I'll start off with the lighting first. So we're taking a B1X Pro Photo, which is a battery one, but I can also plug into power. We're taking one of these little Mollis things. I can run it off a V-Lock battery, or I can run it off power. We've got a little Vibesta by Paragos. These are like a roto light, so they're a constant, batteries are going to go everywhere. They're a constant LED light that we can do the full color of range. It's a full RGB light. It runs off the Sony NP battery as well as just a little AA's. I've got the little Pro Photo. I never remember names and numbers, so I need to look at it. A1. And with the A1, I just have the diffuser set here, and I have a sort of a spreader thing there. We have a deep medium umbrella, a translucent medium umbrella, a diffuser which will go on the front of the umbrella to turn it into like an octabox, and I've got a collapsible beauty dish which is made by Broncolor, because I like the Broncolor one better than the Pro Photo one, but I've got the Pro Photo speed ring for it. Coming back a bit, my tripod, which is really right stuff. We have a Joby. It's handy, and a very small light stand for light. So it's mostly a little bit too light for this, but I'll get by with it on that. But it's more for some of the other gear. As I come back further, I have, this here is just a mix of the triggers, cables, white balance cards, white balance ND filters. It's just a mixed bag. Things like this little thing, which is a V-Lock clamp, which I can clamp onto a stand, put a V-Lock here and then power this or whatever I want to power on a V-Lock. Back here, this is all the chargers and power adapters. So we've got our Australian power points, but then we've got all the adapters, and we normally carry, like we're going to America, so we'll carry a few of the American ones as well. And it's all the chargers and everything for all the stuff that needs charging. This is my bits and pieces bag. It's saved me so many times. So it's lots of little brackets, clips, screws, tiny little clips. It's just everything, little things that I use time and time again. And you just think, why would he carry that? Well, that will clip on to that, which will fit into that. They're things I use a lot. So this is my little bag of goodies, Allen keys, the little wrench set, like little Allen keys, screwdrivers, little flathead. And then I've just got like a Lederman multi-tool and a tiny little like jeweler's screwdriver set, because it's always the tiny little things that tend to break and come undone. Gaffer tape, blower, film. I'm taking a film camera this time. Mega boom for some music when we're in studios and so forth. One of the most important things, my ice cube maker, really important. A monitor, mainly for the workshop, so more people can be able to see what I'm doing, but it makes it also easier for me if I'm editing back at wherever we're staying. Some tether cables. Now that Lightroom and Leica talk to each other beautifully, so if I come from that side, I'll jump over to this side. So this side's more our filming, because we'll be doing podcasts, our tutorials for both Inspire and for YouTube, as well as I want to do some music video type stuff with some models as well. But this is what we're taking. So at the moment, Beck has got a A7c in her hands, not the new one, the old one, and she's just got that on a DJI Gimbal, one of the older ones, because she likes it better than the newer ones. And she's running a Zeiss lens on it, one of the Batis. So this is a Sony A7S3. We've got it on a bit of a cage. We've got a V-Lock battery, a small rig on the back. We have a zoom recorder, which gives us 32-bit float, which means we don't have to worry about levels. I think it's AXV Sennheiser system, wireless system, and there's two mics in here which wireless through to here, which will record into this. We predominantly carry a 16 to 35 and a 24 to 70. Lens, while we're on both Sonys and some Batises, we've got an 18 and a 25. A little RX version 7. This is great. I quite often mount this on top of my camera, and I've got a new little bracket to mount it next to my lens. 360 gimbal for the iPhone, which we're using this more and more. It's really, really handy because it self-tracks. Then we've got the 360, which is more for our tiny places, and if I want to film back, we've always have trouble being able to get all angles. So I'm really liking, it's not loving the slight fisheye look, but I really like that no matter what happens, we can get an angle onto the mics. The Sennheiser, as I said, they've got in the robe bag, it's actually got these zoom recorders. And they just record straight into these, and again, they're 32-bit float, so we don't have to worry about distortion. We've only bringing one microphone. This is just to go onto the Sonys, only if we need to do something for some reason. We just want to record somebody off the camera. Not that we do it very often. This gimbal here is more for my work, for my filming, my videoing. So I'll either be hand-holding on the cage, or handheld with my Leica, or I'll be using this rig for if I'm going to do anything on gimbal. And it's got a little, I've got both the Ninja and the Shinobi, but because this is so light, I'd rather travel with this. Card wallet. Then cameras, and things have changed a lot. So now that I can get my look in Leica and have my workflow in Lightroom, I've got some other videos that are either up or coming up, which shows you me going through all the testing, comparing my Hasselblad system to this. Now I've got this to a point which I'm really happy with. So the first thing, I've got my SL2 Leica, and this is sort of like the replacement of my Hasselblad. So yeah, this is a zoom lens. I don't tend to use zoom lenses, but it just makes my kit so small. So it's a 24 to 90, which covers everything that I would have used on my Hasselblad. And then I've got a prime 75, which is my favorite focal length. And there is a big difference between this lens and that lens if you want that absolutely super, super sharp. Not that I use it very often, but just in case I need it for a client. Then I've got my SL2S, which is more what I will tend to use more run and gun out in the streets, low light, because it has really good low light. And these are the lenses I'm traveling with, which is a 90mm f2 Summicron, a 75 1.4 Summilux, should be a 50, there you go, a 50 Summilux 1.4, and I have a 21mm 2.8 in here. So, and the reason I love this is look how tiny these lenses are. You know, like for a 51.4, look at how ridiculously small that is. A 35 1.4 as well. So I've got an antique 50 Summilux, antique 35 Summicron, and then an antique 50 Summicron on my Leica M3, which is my film camera. And I love this camera, no batteries. It's the best camera in the world. It's completely batteryless. And this little lens is amazing. It's just a little pancake, lock it in. And that's a 50mm f2 lens. Like, that's incredible how small that is and what I get. And I love the pictures on this. And that's why I've got some film packed in over there. The two bags this is what I'll carry in as I'm working around in different cities or if I'm on shoots. Then I've got this backpack, which will pack most of the camera gear will fit into this. So this is what I'll take on the plane. This is on the back. This has got all the valuable stuff in it, doesn't go underneath. And because it only looks small, nobody ever asks to weigh it, touch wood. And the final thing is this bag, which is my office. So in here, I have my laptop, I have an iPad, I have a little Wacom tablet. I have two different packs of glasses. So one's my editing glasses, which is exactly my fingertip length from the screen. The other one's got reading glasses in there if I decide I ever want to read. This is just my cable bag. So this has just lots of different cables for connecting different things to. And there's a USB hub and so forth in there. And there's lots of drives in here. So there's little SSD drives, that small, 2 terabyte each. So I have 4, 5, 6 of them. So there's 12 terabyte. And I'm normally carrying 3 5 terabyte normal drives. So I'm carrying about 25 to 30 terabyte of hard drives in my bag with me, only because I need to. Mouse, Wacom tablet, pen for the iPad, and I've got this special little pen, very expensive little pen, and this is when people recognise Beck in airports, she can sign their t-shirt. So I carry this just so Beck can sign things when she gets recognised. If you do see her in an airport, run up and say hi, she loves it. The final thing is my tin cup. So yeah, I sometimes travel with this too. We get all of this packed into cases we're allowed to take. I think with the lot we're taking, as well as our clothes and that, we'll have 4 suitcases around about 23 kilo.
So we hope you guys enjoyed that. I will throw up some other videos of the type of stuff that we do while we're traveling on the screen now.